Hello geeks, my name is Vamp and you guys are watching Code with Vamp. So today we are gonna cover a special yet an underrated topic, that is Google Dorking. Initially I thought that I should skip that Google Dorking part because already there are so many videos available on the YouTube regarding this Google Dorking. But later I did some research and I thought I should give you a deeper insight of the Google Dorking techniques. So in this video we are going to cover A to Z about Google Dorking, and however it is true that covering every query of the docking is impossible, especially in one video. But believe me, after watching this video completely, you would be able to dock any of the website. And if you're going to face any kind of questions in the interview regarding the docking, you would be able to answer each one of them. Okay, so let us see what are the things that we are going to cover today in this particular video. So the first thing we will see that what is Google Dorking and why it is a part of passive recon tool. Second thing, we will see how Google search actually works. Now it is very important to understand how Google search actually works, because that Google Dorking method is just the result of a loophole in Google search. So we are gonna find what is that loophole and how it helps us to do the Google Dorking. Okay. I know very well that you all are curious to do the practical session directly, but believe me, without understanding the actual concept behind this Google Docking, you would never be able to get the clarity in the practical session. So this video would be completely theoretical for understanding of the Google Docking and its background. And in the very next part of this video, we will cover the complete practical session only. Okay. So let us start with the first thing, that is what is Google Docking and why it is a part of passive reconnaissance tool. So if I say in simple words, Google Docking simply means using Google's advanced search technique to dig up the information on the web that does not easily pop up during the normal search. So what I mean to say that Google Docking or Google hacking can return information that is difficult to locate through simple search queries. That information could be something that is not intended for public viewing but was not protected carefully. So let me explain this phenomena with an diagram. So I had already done my homework. So let us go through the diagram, and here it is. It is very important to understand the basic of the Google logging. If you don't understand the basics of the Google logging, you won't be able to use the operators in a meaningful way. Okay, so imagine that this is me and I know every information about the Google Docking. I have all the knowledge of the Google operators, how to use the Google operators in order to retrieve the information, the hidden information from the website. So I know how to dig the Google. And suppose it's you here and you don't have any idea of the Google operator, Google Docking, and you don't know how to protect your web page or your website from Google Docking. So what happens that, suppose this is your website and it is having a lot of pages, and just think that some of the pages like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, these are all the pages which are intended for public viewing, so that the audience can visit your website and can go through these pages, so it's visible to audience. But there are some pages like this one, and this one here. So these are the pages which contains the personal credential like passwords, config information, and other things that you don't want the audience to watch. So you have not given the permission, or you have not given the path so that it's visible to the audience. But what happens that if it's available on the server or in the network, what Google will do, Google will try to index each one of them without asking you. Okay, so this one is also indexed and this one is also indexed. So Google know all the information about this and all the information about this one also. But if I don't have any knowledge about the Google Docking, I would be watching only those pages which are intended for watching. But if I have the knowledge of Google Docking, Google operators, I can dig Google and I can get this information also here. Okay, so this is the whole concept of Google Docking. So I want to repeat my words again. Google hacking can return information that is difficult to locate through simple search queries. That information could be something that is not intended for public viewing but was not protected carefully. Okay, so that is the thing about the Google Docking, or you can say it is Google hacking. Both are same. So we will talk about this in a detailed version also when we'll be talking about how Google search actually works. But I was just giving you a rough idea how Google Docking actually works and what is the concept. So from the concept wise, this is not something big or very charming, but its effect is very big. Okay, there are lots of websites which lose their credential, all the personal information, just because of this particular issue. Okay, so we are gonna learn each one of them when we are talking about how Google search actually works. So a little bit information about the history of the Google Docking. Google Docking has been documented in the early of 2000. Okay, and Johnny Long, also known as Johnny Hex, was the pioneer of the Google Docking. So you can just go and Google about Johnny Hex. You will get all the information about him and about his book and all his theories about the Google Docking. So now let us move to the next question, and this question is very important for the clear understanding of the Google Docking, that how Google search actually work and what is that loophole which is exploited by this Google Docking method. So the two major things which play an important role in Google search is, the first one is web crawlers for linking and collecting information, and we are going to talk about this web crawlers in a bit. The second important thing is indexing for faster access and stored targeted data. So if you are from a computer science background, you may have heard about this term indexing in the database management system. If you have not heard about this, don't worry, because I'm gonna give you a little bit idea about this particular indexing thing, so that all the things get clear in your mind regarding this Google Docking method. So for proper understanding, let us go to the source itself, that is Google. So let's open Google and see. Okay, so if you open Google, you will see a search bar. Here you type the things that you want to search. Suppose if I type here WAMP, and what do you think, what happens whenever I press enter here? Do you really think that Google is going to search the complete web every time in order to give me the desired result? So let's press enter here and see. So suppose if I press enter, so can you see here the amount of result? And don't see the result only, see the timing. I'm not sure that you can see it clearly or not. Let me make it bigger. So now I think you can see it clearly. So these many results in 0.42 seconds only. So do you really think that is it possible for Google to give you this much of result in this much of time, if it is going to search the complete web every time you press enter here? Definitely not. So what actually happened at the back end, before you search, the web crawler that I was talking about gather information from the web pages and arrange in a search index. So you can see the text that is displaying at the screen, and I have taken these words from the Google information document itself. Now I have made some diagrams for you so that I can clearly explain how this web crawler work and how this indexing thing work. Okay, so let us close this Google here, and we'll minimize this part also and open the diagram. Okay, so it's here. So you can see that I have done a lot of work so that you can easily understand the things. Okay, so let us try to understand what is actually happening at the back end. So suppose that this is me and I'm trying to search this keyword WAMP in the Google as we were doing earlier. So what happens that Google has two options here. I mean, there could be two possible scenarios here. So in the first scenario, what Google will do, Google will try to consult the index table. So this is index table, and in the actual index table is pretty big if we are talking about the Google, but just for the example and for the sake of your understanding, I have made the index table a little bit smaller. So you can see that the index table has some of the inputs here, that is hello, live, hacking tools, love. So think of this index table as the index that is given in your book. So in order to go to the some chapter, so instead of searching the complete book, what you do, you just go to the index table and look for that particular chapter and corresponding page number, and you can directly go to that page or that chapter, okay, using that index table that is given in the front of your book. Okay, so this index table actually work like that. So if you want to search something like hello, This in the Google, this index table will give you all the web page information that is having this hello keyword or somehow related to this hello keyword. Okay, so that will depend upon the Google algorithm, but this is how index table actually work. So this could be the possible first scenario where I try to search this keyword vamp and it's already present in the index table. So Google will directly give me response from this index table, and this actually happens with you all the time because the index table for the Google is really very big, and they have pretty much already stored all the information regarding whatever you're gonna search next. Okay, so this is not the only factor, I mean, because there are a number of algorithms running at the back end in order to improve the quality and how much faster you can retrieve the information, but this is the basic idea, I mean. Okay, so this was the first scenario. What could be the second possible scenario? That Google tried to find that keyword vamp in the index table and it's not available here. Okay, so what Google will do? Google will send its web crawlers. Now what are the web crawlers? Web crawlers are small software programs, and you can make these web crawlers in Python or any other languages. You may have heard about web scraping. If you have not heard, you can just go and Google it. It's somehow related to this web crawler thing. And using that web crawler, what you can do, you can just gather information from web pages to web pages. It start by fetching few web pages initially, follow the link on that web page, and so on. So it basically work as a linked list. So if you go on a node, you read the data that is on the node, and you also have the address to the next node, so that you can just go to the next node. So it works something like that. So what it do, it follow the links on that web page and move forward until this web crawler grab a very big chunk of the result. This whole process comes under the linking the relevant result for you. So suppose if you search vamp here, it will collect all the information, all the web pages which are having actually this particular vamp keyword, or somehow it is related to the synonyms or anything related to the vamp. So it will give you all the results related to the vamp. And which one will show first and which one will show last, there are a number of factors that Google talk about. I mean, the quality of the web page, from where it is fetching, how much relevant the information is. So there are a number of factors, so I'm not gonna go deep into that. So after fetching all the information using the web crawler, it will give you the information, and not only that, it will make a space for that particular keyword, that is vamp, in the index table, so that next time you come here, and what will happen, so I have made one more diagram there. Okay, so here it is. So what will happen if you come next time again you type for this vamp. Now this vamp keyword will be available in the index table, and Google will give you this information directly without searching the web, because now it has linked all the relevant information regarding this vamp, and it don't have to search the complete web in order to give you that desired information, because now it has the link to all the information that is the relevant information for the vamp. Okay, so you must be wondering that how this Google search is related to this Google Dorking. I mean, why I'm telling you all this. My main purpose was to clear your vision so that you can see the loophole here. So can you guess what is the loophole? Probably you have guessed it right. Google don't differentiate between data type. Hence, it link and index every type of data, whether it is a confidential information like credit card details, password, or some normal web page information. So it don't differentiate between data type, and because of that, Google unintentionally index those information also which are not intended for public viewing and was not protected by author. So somehow if I am an author of any of the information that I am sharing on the web, and if I have not taken precautionary measures to protect my confidential information, so it could be possible that my data would be indexed by Google, and somehow if some person know how to dig Google very properly using the operators, he or she can see my data, confidential information. Therefore, you can use specific search and operators and can retrieve that information. This whole method is called Google Dorking. So there is no such a big thing, it's just a small tiny loophole. Because of that, Google unintentionally index all the information which are not actually intended for public viewing. So that is exploiting that loophole is called Google Dorking. Definitely it should come into your mind, and if you are in the field of cybersecurity, it should come into your mind that this issue is highlighted in year 2000. Then can't we escape this untold indexing, I mean unintentional indexing? Definitely you can. There is a file called robots.txt which is associated with the web page, and this .txt file is used to direct the crawler what to index and what not to index. So I'm gonna show you that also. Okay, so what I will do now, I will just open a popular website here and I will show you how they are escaping this particular thing, that is the web crawlers of the Google. So let us open Tesla. Okay, so this is the website of tesla.com. Okay, so I don't want to fill this information. What we are looking for is that robots.txt file. Okay, so what you can do is put a slash here and type robots.txt. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so can you see this? I don't know if you have encountered this page or not earlier, but this particular file is called robot.txt file. So let me give you a time to read this. So this file is to prevent the crawling and indexing of certain parts of your site by the web crawlers and spiders run by sites like Yahoo and Google. Can you see this? This is what I was talking about. So this particular file is used to tell the crawlers or the spiders that what are the things that you can index and what are the things that you can't index. Okay. So there are basically two things that is used here, and the first one is allow, second one is disallow. So can you see allow? So these are the things where the Google crawlers can go and index. These are the directories where the Google crawler or a spider cannot go and index in the Google indexing. Okay, so using this method you can allow or disallow the crawlers and the spiders. Okay, now let's visit some another website and let's go with Amazon. Okay, so the same thing you have to do here, just put a slash and type robots.txt, hit enter. Okay, so the same information, same file. Here they have not given any information like this one, like what this robot.txt is doing, but here you can see these are the directories which are disallowed by this amazon.com. I mean Google crawlers cannot go inside these directories and index this stuff, but they can go here, which are allowed. So can you see, this is the better way to protect your website from this unintentional indexing. Okay, but there is a disadvantage. If you're telling people that I want to disallow the crawler to go this particular directory or this directory, what you're trying to say that I am having some hidden information or hidden credential here which I don't want to expose. So I mean what you're doing is that you're openly giving invitation to the hackers that my credential or my important stuff are there in this particular directory. So it could be invitation, but if it's Amazon and if it's Tesla, they're doing a lot for their security, and you know it. So let's move forward now, and I think you have got the idea how this Google search actually work and how this Google search is actually related to this Google Dorking thing, and what are these robot.txt file. I hope that you have got a clear understanding of the theoretical background of the Google Docking. I have used almost every possible ways to ensure that you get an absolute clear visualization of the background story. But we have only covered the theoretical section until now. and we are ready for the practical session. So in the second part of this Google Dorking, we will cover the practical approach of the Google Dorking along with the knowledge of Google hacking database. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel and show some support. We will definitely meet in the next video. Till then, stay curious, stay protected.